Hey Jonesy Babes and Anonymous Jonesy Babes, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about Sarah Boone, and I'm going to give you the backstory. Now I know you guys, some of you have been following this case, but those of you who haven't, I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick background of this case, and then we're going to talk about what's going on now, because a lot has happened with Miss Sarah Boone, with her crazy self, aka the Looney Tune. All right, so her boyfriend, his name was George Torres Jr., or Jorge Torres Jr. He was 42 years old. He suffocated to death on February 24th, 2020 in Winterport, Florida, after being zipped into a suitcase. Now, his girlfriend, then 42-year-old Sarah Boone, was arrested the following day for second-degree murder after agreeing to a police interview. Now, a little background about these two, because they had a toxic relationship full of domestic violence. Prior to his death, George had been arrested multiple times for domestic violence against Sarah Boone. And she also was arrested one time for domestic violence against George. Now, Sarah had been arrested once for battery by strangulation against George in July of 2018, when both George and Sarah were arrested. Now, however, her charge was dismissed. George had been arrested 4 times for battery against Sarah. Sarah bailed George out of jail each time. So that relationship was just toxic, okay? So let's talk about the incident. Now, on February 25th, 2020, Sarah Boone called 911 and told them that her boyfriend, George Torres, was dead. Now, Sarah claimed that she and Torres had a single bottle of wine and then decided to play hide and seek. She claimed that they thought it would be funny to put him in the suitcase and that they were both laughing. She stated that she then went upstairs and accidentally fell asleep, leaving George in the suitcase. Now, Torres' death was ruled a homicide. The following day, Sarah was asked to go to the police station for an interview. Now, during the interview, forensic investigators asked for her phone. She willingly gave them her phone, and it was searched. The search found 2 videos that Boone had taken the night before. The videos showed Boone laughing as Torres, he was pleading for help while he was inside the suitcase. And she said, "That's what you do when you choke me. And that's what I feel like when you cheat on me." Boone stated that she did not remember recording those videos. Now, I remember seeing that video. She was sitting on the couch and he was saying, "Please get me out of here." It was just disturbing. And she was sitting on that couch, honey, and she was popping her mess to him while he was locked in that damn suitcase. All right. Now, the trial. Sarah Boone was subsequently charged with second-degree murder for killing George Torres. Held in Orange County Jail without bail, she has written many letters to the trial judge stating that she has not been represented fairly, 8 different attorneys, and now I found out she has another attorney, so that makes number 9. Okay, they were appointed to represent her, have withdrawn. So she had 8 different attorneys, and they all left her alone, plain and simple. All right, so after the withdrawal of her 8th lawyer, Sarah Boone has been deemed to have forfeited her rights to court-appointed counsel and must now represent herself in court. She is expected to use the battered woman defense at her trial. A date has been set for October 7th, 2024. Okay, so that's the background. So now she has a new lawyer. This is her 9th lawyer. Let's talk about that. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? How is it that she could have a different lawyer? I thought the judge said no. All right, so Sarah Boone retains defense attorney set to begin suitcase murder trial in October. Let's go ahead and talk about it, honey. So Sarah Boone would no longer represent herself in her murder trial according to the new court documents. On Friday, the defense filed a motion requesting a continuance of the 3-week jury trial as Boone has retained a new lawyer. The new attorney has met with Boone at least 4 times in August at the Orange County Jail. During these meetings, Boone shared potential evidence stored on her phone, which is currently in the possession of the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Now, according to the motion, this evidence reportedly includes photos, videos, calendars, text messages, notes, and contact information for witnesses that could support Boone's battered spouse syndrome defense. In addition to this evidence, the defense has identified several potential expert witnesses covering a range of possible defenses and is vetting additional experts as directed by interested parties. Now, earlier this week, Boone filed a motion to have her case dismissed, citing her constitutional right to a speedy trial, which was denied by the judge, and that is also in the court documents. Boone's trial is set to begin on October 7th at 9 a.m., and I will be watching it. Now, I already gave you guys a background on the case. Just go ahead and lock her up. I don't know why we're going through all of this. Just go ahead and lock her up. We have evidence. We have evidence from her own phone that he was in the suitcase, zipped up. She was talking her mess while she was sitting on the couch filming it. Okay? She told the police officers that they were playing hide and seek, and she went upstairs and she fell asleep and woke up several hours later. Okay? And her boyfriend was in the suitcase. Now, prosecutors said there were 2 videos on Boone's phone showing her recording video as her boyfriend tried to get out of the suitcase. They said the first video began recording at February 24th, 2020 at 11:12 p.m., in which George could be heard repeatedly yelling out Boone's name. She reportedly was laughing as he screamed in terror, pleading for help until his final breath, investigators said. For everything you have done to me, F you, stupid, Boone could be heard saying in the video, according to the deputies. That's on you. Oh, that's what I feel like when you cheat on me, she reportedly added. The second video began recording on February 24th at 8:20 p.m., in which detectives said Torres is heard yelling out Boone's name. An arrest report said the suitcase was in a different position during the second video. Okay. Now, this is the same woman. Now, she's using this battered spouse syndrome stuff. But this is the same woman. You know, she wrote a 58-page letter to the judge. Okay. She had exhausted all of her 8 lawyers to the max. But somehow she has a new lawyer, which is her 9th lawyer. And he said he's going to stick in there with her and he's going to, be with her through the trial and everything. I hope so. I hope she don't run this one off. She's just doing too much. She's trying to get out of this altogether. And it's not going to work. Those videos are evidence. Okay? And they have a paper trail on her and George's relationship. It was toxic. It was full of domestic violence. They're doing things to each other. She's getting arrested. He's getting arrested. And she bails him out each time he gets arrested. It was very toxic. It was very toxic. And even the judge said that it's Sarah Boone's fault that her attorney only has a month to prepare. And it really is. It is her fault. Because this woman is crazy. She's crazy. Now the name, I think his name is James Owens. Okay, he stepped in to represent Sarah. He had asked Judge Michael Kranick to delay the murder trial until the end of this year or the beginning of 2025, citing a need to hire expert witnesses to pursue a battered spouse defense. Owens joined the case on August 30th. Because Boone struggled to represent herself after Judge Kranick ruled she had forfeited her right to an attorney. Owens said he plans to hire 2 forensic psychologists to serve as experts to bolster a battered spouse defense, but the deadline to file a notice for that defense is September 7th. Owens said he has been unable to access digital evidence or go through the discovery that now sits in inboxes with Boone at the Orange County Jail. Okay. Now, among the experts, Owens said he wants to hire Dr. Michael Brannon, who recently testified against diagnosing Marsha Thompson with battered wife syndrome. In July, a jury found Thompson not guilty of first-degree murder in the shooting death of her husband. So Judge Kranick refused to continue the trial, noting that the case had already been pending for 4 years, 6 months, and 4 days. He admonished that Owens was fully aware of the trial dates and deadlines when he stepped into the case and said that Boone only has herself to blame for her previous attorney's withdrawals. And that is true. Now, speaking outside of court after the hearing, Owens said that he had unsuccessfully attempted to negotiate a plea deal for Boone, but will move forward with the case despite being unable to secure a continuance. I'm going to have some help, Owens acknowledged. I'm trying to assemble a team right now. Owens also noted that he was not working pro bono on the case, telling the cameras, Sarah owes me. Okay. Now, Boone is due back in court for motions hearing on September 26th, and her trial is scheduled for October 7th. So that's what we have so far. I don't know how this damn trial is going to go, but all I know is Miss Sarah is guilty, and she needs to be locked up for a very long time. I would say give her life. Give her life in prison. She sat there while that man was in that suitcase. I mean, I saw the video and it was just disturbing. And she just sitting there like she didn't care. And then she went upstairs to go to sleep. She knew exactly what she was doing. He was calling out for her. He was yelling. She sat there and she let that man die in the suitcase. So just give her life in prison without parole. That's what she deserves. So now they're going to use the battered wife syndrome. Anyway, how do you guys feel about that? Let me know in the comments. How do you feel about this whole thing with Sarah Boone, period? I would love to know your thoughts on it. Talk to me in the comments, and I will talk to you guys later.